So today I thought I would make a video on all of the books that I intend to try to read in the fall. I am a really big mood reader, so the chances that I will get to any or all of these really just vary on if I decide to read them or not. But I like the whole idea of having like a reading list for the fall. So I think that I'll just go ahead and get right into it. So first I'm going to talk about the books that are standalones or just randoms that I would like to get to into the fall season. So the first one is a reread, and it's the only reread that I have on my entire list, and that is November 9 by Colleen Hoover. This is just about a girl who meets a boy, and they have one day together in LA, and then they promise each other that a year from now they will meet each other again in the same spot and spend the day together. And so it's like, I think it encompasses like 5 years where they meet up every year and their relationship is progressing. In between each year, they're not having any contact with each other whatsoever, so that they just meet each other once a year, and then once they're done with that day, they part ways and don't see each other for the rest of the year. So they live completely different lives while they're apart. Anyways, it's been a couple of years since I've read it, and my goal is that I would like to read November 9th on November 9th, or start it on November 9th. The second book I'm going to talk about today is Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. I don't know if I've read this author before, but I love like a thriller, mystery, psychological situation every once in a while. And the third book that I would like to talk about is Yours Truly, Jack the Ripper by Pamela West. I did read the inside cover synopsis, and so my understanding is that this is a fiction story, but the author, Pamela West, went to London. She did a lot of like reading on newspaper articles, case studies, etc., to, I guess, create the closest tailing of the story of Jack the Ripper. Other than that, I don't really know anything about it. I was curious to pick this up because I am very interested in serial killers, and I just thought that it would be perfect for the season, kind of spooky, things like that. The next book that I want to potentially get to this fall is Talking as Fast as I Can by Lauren Graham. I'm a huge fan of Gilmore Girls. I typically love to watch it in the fall. I just think it's hilarious, and I think that because I love Gilmore Girls so much, that I'm going to love this book as well. And then the next book I would like to get to is The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. I'm kind of slowly reading books that have been out for a long time that are either super well known, talked about, they're considered classics, or they are banned books. And so I would like to read this book. I've heard that it's kind of controversial because some would say that it's not an accurate representation of a child in Auschwitz or in the Holocaust, but I'm still super interested in reading it, and then maybe I will do some research on what other people had to say about it. Anyways, the last book that I have with me currently that is a standalone book is called Dreadful by Caitlin Rosakis. And my friend Austin bought this for me for my birthday. I just think that this book would be super cozy for the fall season. And with this one, I'm just going to read the back of the synopsis. It says, "It's bad enough waking up in a half-destroyed evil wizard's workshop with no eyebrows, no memories, and no idea how long you have before the Dread Lord whomever shows up to murder you horribly and then turn your skull into a goblet or something. It's a lot worse when you realize that Dread Lord whomever is you. Gab isn't really sure how he ended up with a castle full of goblins or why he has a princess locked in a cell. All he can do is play along with his own evil plan in hopes of getting his memories back before he gets himself killed. But as he realizes that nothing, from the incredible, tasteless cloak adorned with flames to the princess, is quite what it seems, Gab must face up to all the things the Dread Lord Gavrax has done, and he'll have to answer the hardest question of all: who does he want to be? Now, I have seen this book like on Book Talk or Bookstagram, but I haven't really read like anything on what anyone's saying, what it's about. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make my predictions. I obviously think that this Lord Gab guy is, Gab is shortened, is going to be like a morally great character, and I really do hope that this is kind of like a one book, like enemies to lovers sort of situation, but because it has to do with like wizards and goblins and different things like that, I just thought it would be really good for the fall. Okay, and then the two books that I would also like to get to in the fall season, maybe just like the whole Burr months, we'll see. One of the books is Alchemized by Senlin Yu. I think that's how you say it. I'll put it right here. And this one hasn't come out yet, and it is for anyone who has read Harry Potter or likes Harry Potter or specifically likes fanfics. This is a Hermione fanfic. It was originally called Manacled, and I've read the original version, and now she is getting it published and is going to, and it comes out in September. I'm very excited about that. I'm excited to see the changes. Obviously, there were some changes that had to be made so that it wasn't like a copycat of Harry Potter. I think that's why it's called Alchemized, and they're supposed to be alchemists instead of wizards and witches. And then the last book, this is the beginning of a series, but I am just going to read the first book and then go from there. It is called Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. I think that's how you pronounce it. My friend Kat has been raving about this book and the whole series, and I've been seeing, ever since she mentioned it, I've been seeing other people like reading it or talking about it, and now I'm just super, super interested in reading it. So let me just take a tea break. Okay, so for the next part of this fall TBR intentions or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be focusing on series. Now, all three of these series are series that have come out and they're popular or they're just much older, and there's something that I haven't gotten to yet. So yeah, that's about it. The first series that I would love to get to is the Inheritance Games. This follows a girl named Avery, and my understanding is that she's just like trying to get through high school. Yeah. And then all of a sudden there's this Hawthorne guy who basically gives her his entire fortune to her, but like the catch is that she has to move into this mansion and live with all of the people who thought they were getting inherited his fortune, but they're not. And I think 4 of those people are his grandsons. And then there's like these secret passages and riddles and codes and something about, I mean, it's called the Inheritance Game, so I'm assuming that there's like things that happen in the series that are very game-like. Yeah, surprisingly, I don't know a ton about the series. I've kind of been avoiding like reading or listening to anything that anyone's been saying about the series because I've been interested in it, and I just kind of want to go into it like everyone else has gotten to read it, not knowing too much about it. But I do think this would be a great series to read in the fall. So I'm excited about that. And then the second series that I'm going to be reading is actually just a continuation of a series that I started last year and then put a pause on, which is the Hunger Games series. I know I still haven't read it, and I would like to finish it because the book, The Songbirds of Something, anyways, those books are starting to come out now, and I've heard really, really great things about it. And some of my friends have talked about it, and they've just talked about how the book is very devastating and like crushes your soul and makes you cry. And so I want to read it because I love a book that can just make me feel. So anyways, I'm going to read Mockingjay and Catching Fire. I feel like these two books will probably be towards the top of the list because I am excited to finish the series and then purchase the other books so that I can be caught up. And then the last series that I'm going to be reading is a series that came out probably when I was in high school, and I'd heard about it, and I feel like recently I've started to hear a lot more about it, like people are rereading it, it's something that they love, etc. And that series is the Selection series. And my understanding is it is like got Gossip Girl vibes. And honestly, that's all I really know about it. Also, maybe like Bachelor vibes, because it says that there's 35 girls, one crown, and then the competition of a lifetime. I don't even know if there's like magic involved or anything like that, but I'm super, super intrigued, and I also think that they'll be pretty fast reads because I'm fairly certain that this is a YA series. So that is all of the books that I am planning on reading for the fall. If anyone has any recommendations or they've read any of these books, you can go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.